All right. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. So good morning, guys. How are we doing today? I'm trying to do a little setup here. I just want to know if it's going to work or not. So good morning and welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. If you can do me a favor by sharing this video, it will be good. All right, I think it's on Instagram. Not sure. Okay, it's on Instagram. So welcome everybody, and thank you very much for joining. Um, the topic before us today is kind of like really huge, and I want us to treat this topic carefully. I want us to treat it carefully. I need the feedback out there. Can somebody hear me? If you can hear me on YouTube, or you can hear me on Instagram or Facebook, can you please just go ahead and just give me a little update quickly? Midday Joseph, how are you doing? Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me before we proceed. I'm trying to test the new setup here, so I need to know if you are able to hear me on all the platforms. Jumi Ola, thank you very much for that. On that's YouTube right there. YouTube, yes, YouTube, another YouTube. Neka, thank you. Highly favored, thank you. I'm expecting someone from Instagram to say something. Okay, that's Facebook. Kenny Olajide, thank you very much for the response. Mide Joseph, thank you again. That's Facebook. Also, I'm waiting for someone from Instagram to say something. Waiting for someone on Instagram to say something. Not sure they're getting it. Oh God. I'm trying to type something on the wall to see if they're going to join. Thank you very much, Anne Osa. God bless you. Pinned by Rogue Referral. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you guys as you guys are coming in. Thank you very much. God bless you. Let's see if Instagram will get us. Just trying to post an update on Instagram to see if they will be able to get it. If they will get in. Instagram has been acting funny lately. Not sure why. So we are going to be talking about a very solid topic. Uh, and this topic right here is very sensitive. We have been seeing a lot of cases on this topic. So it's very, very sensitive. And I'm going to take my time to deal with this topic. And I'll give the opportunity for people who would love to come on the show or probably make a phone call for us to discuss this particular issue clearly. So we can discuss this issue clearly. All right. And the topic is African men. Your mother doesn't belong in your marriage. I know some of you will actually believe that with me, and some of you may not. Some people may say it's a lie. My mother should be and must be part of my marriage. But I'm not sure. So if you are from Instagram, please, can you please just respond? Can you hear me? Let's do that quickly before we go so that I won't be just talking without the audio. It happened some few days ago. I was on the show and I was talking and they couldn't hear me. So if you're out there on Instagram, please go ahead and just say something uh, about the show if you are able to hear me. All right. So we're going to be talking about Favor Oyibo. How are you doing? God bless you. African man, your mother doesn't belong in your marriage. We need to talk about it. Taiwo Adituogo, how are you? Long time ago. So marriage is complicated, and I want us to be very careful as we deal with it. Some of us don't know how to deal with marriage. We just believe that we are grown and we are of age, and this is the right time for me to get married. And sometimes people will push you and push you and push you and say, it's time for you to get married. Tí ọmọdé bá tó lọ́kọ, ó lọ́kọ. Tí ọmọdé bá tó ní àdá, ó ní àdá. And they always make you feel bad by making reference to your little brother who is already married, or your cousins who are already married, or probably a neighbor, or probably your schoolmate. And your mothers or your fathers will be saying, I need grandchildren. I need grandchildren. And I want to quickly just break this down to us. Number one, marriage is got nothing to do with your age. Your age doesn't matter when we are talking about marriage. Age doesn't matter. Maturity is not connected to age. Maturity is not connected to age. It doesn't matter how old you may be. Okay? If you are not mature, you're not. So, in marriage itself, it doesn't matter how old you may be. If you are not ready for marriage, you are not ready for marriage. Kò sí àbùjá kan lọ́rùn ọ̀pẹ. All right? And àìgbọ́fá là ń wòkè, ifá kan ò sí ní párá. If you don't know it, you don't know it. All right? And then learning from your parents sometimes is very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. You cannot learn from your parents alone. Sometimes what you see in your home while growing up is not the real ideal marriage. It's possible for your father not to understand marriage either. And if you learn from someone who doesn't understand, then you are putting yourself in a big danger. And that is going to bite you, and that's going to mess your life up. And you'll never believe it. Later down the road, you'll remember these that I'm telling you right now. Okay? Now, I noticed one thing, that African men always believe a leader is born. And I want to disagree with you. All right? You were not born a leader. We learn to be leaders. We develop ourselves to be leaders. We educate ourselves to be leaders. We open up to training to be leaders. All right? God gave us the mind, gave us the brain for us to be able to use it. I want to tell you this. Gbogbo wa ni leader. Gbogbo wa, every one of us. Once you give yourself up for training, you will see that leadership trait will come out from you, and then you have the knowledge to lead. It will come to you. All right. And I tell men all the time, I always tell men all the time that you cannot get married until you have been to leadership school. You can't get married until you have been to leadership school. Leadership school will qualify you to be a leader. To be a leader. Leadership school will qualify you to be a leader. You cannot refer to yourself as a leader just because you are a man. Just because you are a man, you cannot say, I'm a leader. Oh, I'm a man. I'm a leader. No, sir. It doesn't work that way. And that's why we have a lot of cooked, unbaked husbands all over the world right now. Let me quickly pray for Opeyemi Oladoshu. I pray for you. You will not be the one asking for Christmas giveaway. If you like, you can say amen to that. If you like, you can ignore the prayer. And that's not your portion. You are not a beggar, and you will not be a beggar in Jesus' name. You will not be. So you need to go and make do with what you have. I said that yesterday. Poverty is a mindset. You are poor if you are poor in your mind. And why are you poor in your mind? Is because you are looking for what you do not need. God already gave you what you need. You are looking for something else you do not need, and that is what will make you to think like a poor person. All right? So if you already have a house that you live, you are not poor. If you have a car you're driving, you're not poor. It doesn't matter what kind of car. It doesn't matter what kind of house you live in. You have a small income coming for you, you are not poor. God has already blessed you and given you what you need to survive in your life. What we need to do is just to cut your coat according to the material and live below your means. All right? And gradually, as you grow and develop yourself, you start getting more money coming to you. God will start enlarging your coast and all kinds of stuff. All right? Just make do with what you have, and don't be looking at another person's prosperity. That person you think that is prosperous may not be prosperous. I'm telling you, he may be fighting something also that you are not fighting. The kind of war and battle that rich people are fighting, we are not fighting those things. And they look at us that, oh yeah, these guys, they are really enjoying, they are happy. But sometimes we start looking for what is not missing, instead of us just to focus on the little life that God has given to us, and that happiness and joy, and just keep it. All right, that's just for that. Now, we have many unbaked, uncooked men, and we refer to them as husbands today. A husband is not just a man. A husband is not just an ordinary man. A husband must have passed through the school of the Holy Spirit. That's why I'll be saying this and I'll keep saying it until we get it. The Bible says, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. So it will take a husband, a man, to first of all study Jesus, know the kind of love he shares with the church, understand the nature of Jesus, believe in what Jesus believes in, and then become a part of the kingdom of God. Submit and surrender yourself under the leadership of Christ himself. Then you are qualified to be referred to as a husband. All right? And if you break it down and you look at the character of Christ, what he believes in, you will find out that many of our men are not qualified to be referred to as a husband. And this is why I am actually coming here to explain to you And I don't want you to hate me. I don't want you to dislike me. And I don't want you to be angry. I need you to listen. And if you can listen, you will see that things will start changing for us. And you see the gradual success that we're going to be having. And then we'll see how we can totally erase divorce from the system. All right? A man that is not prepared for marriage can never be successful in marriage. I am sorry to say that. A man who is not prepared for marriage can never be successful in marriage. That man will always want to rule with iron hand. A man that is not prepared for marriage will become a dictator. I need you to listen. A man that is not ready and prepared for marriage, designed for marriage, will rule as a dictator. Many of you women don't understand this. You just want to go for a guy because he's tall. You go for a guy because he's got a good job. You go for a guy because he's handsome. But you need to look at his leadership ability. Is he the kind of leader I want to follow? Does he understand what leadership is all about? Can he lead me? Is he somebody I could surrender to? It's not about the physical appearance or the job or the whatever. It's about the ability to lead and direct your family that you need to go and be looking for. Many of you don't care. Many of you just feel like, I just want to get married. I just want to have a husband. They call him Adeorimi. Adeorimi that doesn't have any understanding of leadership will eventually be the shoe on your feet, not Ade. Okay? And this, the beginning of this is more of parenting. Parenting is always the beginning. The environment where you're growing, your parents, your father, your mother, their relationship, their level of knowledge and understanding and their level of exposure will actually make them to train their children properly. For those kids to be able to understand that as a man, I have a very big responsibility on my shoulder. You are not just a man for nothing. It's not just because you have a penis. It's more of responsibilities. Responsibilities. And very, very important. And see, every one of us here, we agree, is upbringing. But what exactly are you as a woman doing right now that you have two sons? You have one son. You have kids. What exactly are you doing? Are you intentional right now about the kind of life that your son will live when he's grown? When he's all grown? Are you bothered about that? Are you asking yourself, am I training my kids well? Am I training my son well? Am I training my daughters well? All right? Because eventually it's not about just becoming a doctor. It's not just becoming an engineer or IT, whatever. It's actually becoming a better person, ready to love somebody, ready to allow somebody to love him or her, and be ready to lead as a man, understanding what leadership is all about. We need to ask. It's very important for us to ask. Ask yourself right now. Because there is a generation that is coming. And they will send you blessings or they will curse you. Of the kind of kids you are raising right now. All right? Now, upbringing is very important. But another thing. The Yoruba people will say, tí wọ́n bá bí ẹ, ó yẹ kó tún ara ẹ bí. Tí wọ́n bá ti bí ẹ, ó yẹ kó tún ara ẹ bí. It's very important for us to always be open to learning. And you see, you cannot stop to learn. You cannot stop to educate yourself. You have to do this for the rest of your life. Every day you wake up, something new is happening. Every day you wake up, something new is happening. And that's why whenever I talk about this, and then they say, beauty wa ni atiti koshe. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó máa rí. Lie and Nikbeku. I always say, no, I'm sorry, you can't say that. And you guys will come and fight me and say, oh, he's talking rubbish. But I'm not talking rubbish. Every day of our lives, We see changes. We see new things happening that was not happening before. So if you close your mind and you think the way we've been doing it before is the way I'm going to do it, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. And so if you're not ready for people to affect you, influence you, push you, then you will become stagnant. All right? Yesterday, power and knowledge is not enough to run today's life. That yesterday knowledge, that yesterday kind of power you have, that yesterday kind of mindset is not enough to run your life today. The life of today is different. So you must be ready to upgrade. So things must change. Even God, we call him the unchangeable changer, which means he remains the same, but he's changing everything around. He's turning everything around. He's upgrading everything. He started by creating animals, and then we were riding on donkey. We're riding on horses. Eventually, he started molding things, and now we are riding bicycles and riding cars. Formerly, we live in a mud constructed houses. Now God changed it to actually a brick house or a wooden house. All right, we're flying jets all around the place. That's God doing all that. So he's unchangeable God, but yet he's changing things around for us. So we need to understand that life is not stagnant. Life is dynamic. So also relationship must be dynamic and must not be stagnant. Your style of leadership must change based on the person that you're married to. So a man has been appointed to be the leader of the group. You as a man, you've been appointed to be the leader of the group. And as a leader of the group, there are certain things you must know. You must upgrade. You must understand leadership. You must be a leader with experience, a leader with knowledge. You must understand how to lead a woman, not a woman, that particular one. You must understand how to lead that one. All right? Because every step of the way, whatever decisions you make will affect everybody that is around you, especially your wife and your children. And you must understand it. I understand a lot of us just want to be arrogant, just want to be very proud. It's intentionally, we do that stuff. You don't want to come down and learn and learn and learn. And you always believe you know it all. Many men, this is one disease that is affecting a lot of men, Africans. We believe we know it all, whereas we don't know. Okay? We're supposed to check with other people, ask for advice and say, this is what I want to do. What do you think? What suggestions could you give me? You don't have to take those advice. You don't have to take the suggestions they're giving to you, but it's going to add to your knowledge. It's going to add to what you are thinking about, and you can think this way or think that way or think this way. They're giving you more sides to think. They're actually opening your eyes to other directions that you were not thinking about before. And that will help you to be able to build your life to get to the point where you want to be without falling. Some of our men don't read. You don't read. You don't listen to tapes. All you do is listen to comedy or listen to music or watch all of this stuff on social media. Young ladies opening up their bodies and stuff. And that's where you stay. You stay right there. And that's how you build your life. Just feeding your mind with nonsense. Feeding your mind with junks. And then many of you will start watching porn. And that's what you watch. Watch porn, porn, porn. How do you think porn is going to educate you to be a good leader? How do you think porn is going to help you to be a good leader? How do you think all of these ladies opening their breasts and stuff will be able to help you and develop you to be a good leader? You know? Sorry. It's never going to help you. To be a man is hard. To be a husband is actually more difficult. If you are just ordinary man, you can live your life as an ordinary man and just be roaming the street, watch porn, watch football, watch comedy, do what you like about yourself. You're just an ordinary man. But the moment you aspire to come into a relationship, you want to become a husband, you need to upgrade yourself to be knowledgeable in that field. It's not that we don't have leaders in Africa. We have leaders in Africa. But the leaders of Africa do not understand leadership. And that's where the problem is. They don't. And it's not like we don't have men who are in relationship. Majority of them just don't know what leadership means. It's hard work. You have to study. You have to go for seminars and conferences. You have to feed your mind. You have to grow and develop in that field. That office is not a simple office. It's a very delicate office. And let me tell you something. Majority of the divorce that is being filed today are filed by women. And why? I have never seen a woman that would divorce a good man. Men will argue this. But in my years of experience, I have seen it. Is either this man refused to talk and we are sweeping things under the carpet. Let's talk. There will be a problem. Let us talk. There will be a problem. They don't like to answer questions. They don't like to sit down and talk to their wives. And at the end of the day, the woman will actually stick around for a while and eventually she'll tell herself, I think I'm done. And they leave. The women are filing divorce because they're not getting results. Their life is more like, okay, I'm just living my life on the fence. I don't know where I'm going to fall. I don't understand if this guy truly loved me or not. We're only here just making babies, and that's what we're doing. No communication, no plans, no vision, no future. Nothing whatsoever. All I see is single-handedly buying houses, single-handedly investing, single-handedly doing all the things he wants to do without consulting or carrying his wife along. And at this point, women will tell you, I don't want to do this. And this is still lack of good leadership skill. A leader is supposed to understand how to carry the followers along. You can't just do things by yourself. It's not done. You can't just say, I'm doing it by myself. I'm going to do it. I'm the man. I'm the man. No, you're not the man like that. You are a husband. You are not just a man. There's difference between just an ordinary man and a husband. A husband is a leader. A man can live his life by himself and not lead nothing. But a husband is a leader, appointed leader. And you are an appointed leader, you must understand that you have to carry the follower along. She must have her own input in whatever it is that we want to do. And I'm sorry I'm saying this, you guys may be angry. All right? I'm sorry. Now, do you know that women file for divorce for tiny little things like he doesn't even know how to say sorry? Everybody will say, of course. This guy doesn't know how to say sorry. He will do something today, he will sweep it under the carpet, he will yell, he will shout just to shut the wife down. At the end of the day, the woman is dying. She want to be heard. She want to participate. She want to function in her calling, but the man is shutting him down and shutting her down. At the end of the day and stuff, this woman will get so tired of the whole relationship and tell herself, I can't function like this. And tiny little things like this will make a woman walk out of relationship, and men will say, well, women are the ones filing divorce. Why don't we go to the root cause of these things and say, okay, but why are they filing for divorce? Women file for divorce because some of them say zero tolerance for cheating. And men, some of our men are just champions when it comes to cheating. And then the women will say, it's not like women are not cheating too anyway. But the issue here is that the moment a woman cheats and they get caught, the end of the relationship will come. But when a man cheats and they get caught, instead of them apologizing and then going away from that way, they always feel, oh yeah, she should forgive me. What is good for you is good for your wife also. I understand that women will always like to keep their relationship, but we are not supposed to take advantage of that and say, okay, because women love to keep relationship, I'm going to keep on doing what will piss her off. I'm going to continue to do what will kill her. I'm going to continue to do what will wound her life. And then you continue to do the same thing over and over again and again. At the end of the day, let me tell you, that superwoman will actually become weak. And then our mental health will get affected. And then the next thing she want to do is to fight for her life. And then she will make a statement like this: I want the marriage, but I think my life is more important. And when they get to that point, every one of us will demonize them. Every one of us will come out and start saying all bad things about women. But I think we need to be fair with this stuff. All right. And some men, they are bullies. You know, they're bullies. You can't bully your wife here, bully your wife there, bully your wife all over. Some of them are even physically abusive. You see, some men are physically abusive. And they slap their wives, and they kick their wives, and they beat their wives. For how long do you think a woman will stick around to be beat up like that? Or broken hand today, or broken hips tomorrow, or black eyes today, or broken nose tomorrow? For how long can she keep herself alive? And then when they file divorce, we always say women are the ones filing for divorce. They will now say 80% of divorce is filed by women. Why? We need to go to the root cause of these things. Why are they filing divorce? Why? What is making them to file for divorce? Is it the nature of women that I know? They want to stick around. Women want to stay in the relationship. They want to be there. Something must have made them to change their mind to say, you know what, I'm giving it up. I'm giving this up. Something is making them to see that. I'm not saying women are all saints and stuff. I'm not saying women are angels. But I'm just saying the problems here. All right? So, and some men, a woman will file for divorce because the man is not allowing them to have privacy. There is no privacy. Every little thing that happens in the home, they carry it to their family members. Every time something happens, they carry. Their wives are not their advisors. Their wife is just an ordinary woman just staying right there. Just staying right there. Whenever they want to do anything big in their life, whatever it is they want to do, it is their family members that they call. It's their mom that they call. It's their brothers and sisters that they call. And those are the people they're going to run it by, and then they do that stuff. Some of them will even go so much into making their mother's nest of kin, making their brother's nest of kin, making their sister's nest of kin. And I know what they're going to be telling me right now, because my wife is bad. Who made her to be like that? Who got married to that bad woman? Or maybe you got married to a good woman and then you turn her crazy. And now she's crazy right now, then you want to just cut her off totally. Now think about that stuff. Is it not enough reason for a woman to say, you know what? I'm taking my table away. I'm going to be gone. All right? And then they pack and they go, and the society will blame them for leaving. The church will demonize them. Once you get divorced, you can't lead prayers. Once you get divorced, you can't sing in the choir. Once you get divorced, you cannot be anything in church anymore. At the end of the day, we have already now linked up relationship with the service of God. So you can't serve God the moment you're divorced. Like divorce is actually part of what makes you to go to hell. Or marriage or staying married means that you are going to heaven. And I don't know where we're getting all these things from. And it's so shocking that we are into this stuff and we're destroying a lot of lives with these things. I was expecting the church to start fellowshipping with men and train men to be good leaders, to keep their relationship, keep their homes. A bad parenting will make a boy to get married and see his mother as his wife, because the mother did not define the role. The difference between a mother and a wife has not been given to that young man. That young man doesn't know the difference. He just believes my mother, my mother, my mother. Every little thing is my mother. Every little thing is my mother. The Bible says, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and shall cleave to his wife. A man will leave his father and mother and shall cleave to his wife. What does it mean? We have read it many times and it seems like the African men are not getting the point. Your mother doesn't belong in your marriage. That's what it means. Your father doesn't belong in your marriage. They don't have any spot in your marriage. Marriage is between you, your wife, and God. All right? You, your wife, and God. How many times are we going to talk about this? How many times? are we going to talk about this until it will sink? And I'm believing that our parents are supposed to re-echo these things. That one time you will be here with me, a time will come that you will no longer be with us, you're only going to be visiting us. And then he will ask, Mommy, why? Because by the time you get married, you are going to be building your own family. And your family, you become the one that is in charge, just like your dad is in charge here. And if anything happens in your marriage, this is the time for you to learn conflict resolution right now, that you can be able to attend and handle the situation in your home by yourself without calling me or calling your dad or calling your sister and reporting issues here. If you are good enough to marry her, you must study very hard and upgrade yourself to be able to handle her. Handler. You must be. So you cannot just be this mommy's boy that will always run to mommy all the time. And it's so shocking that, I read something yesterday on my page that a young boy will call the mom. Every time there is a situation in the marriage, he will call the mother. And then the mother will be the one to call the wife. And call the wife. All this stuff, this is a disgrace. And when we call it a disgrace, just that we Africans just like Nigerians don't like to call a spade a spade. We just want to dance around the truth and rub lies on the edge. It's a disgrace. That's a disgrace on your part, my brother. Any man that is going all around reporting his wife to his family is a sissy. That's a disgrace. A big time disgrace right there. And one thing you do not know is that you're going to lose respect. You will lose respect. And once you lose respect, that is the end. Once you lose respect, that's the end. You don't want to go through that route. You want to learn conflict resolution as a leader. Leaders always learn conflict resolution. You are the one in charge. They place you in charge. And if you are really in charge, you are in charge. And everybody is actually looking up to you. And they want you to be the one to decide what we must to do, how we must to do it. You cannot start running around and be calling your mom. You can't be running around calling your dad. You're supposed to grow to that level that you sit down and you look to the face of your wife and say, sweetheart, please, can we talk about this? And be that leader that will actually preside over the meeting. And let your wife understand why you did what you did. Apologize to her. Because you are a man doesn't mean you cannot apologize. Because you are a man doesn't mean you cannot apologize. Okay? It's not to learn to apologize. You have to learn to prostrate if you have to. When you have done something wrong, your ego must be placed under control. You have to be able to go and let yourself know that I am not superior to this woman. We are. And I something recently. Some people got blessed, but some people didn't get blessed. I said, before you get married as a woman, make sure you have your own. Don't come and say, I want to put everything I have on your own table. On your own table. You can't do that. Sorry, you can't. That you bring the table into that relationship. Your table must actually hold what you have, your own things. Right? So when you get there, he is presenting his own table, you are presenting your own table. And the two tables could now be matched together side by side so you can share things on the tables. So at the end of the day, if somebody decides to carry our own table or his own table away, you still have a table. You still have your table. That's why the Bible says, I will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemy. That prepare a table before you. He didn't say I'll prepare a table before us. It's you. It's your table, not just anybody's table. Not just anybody's table. That's your table right there. So you must have it. And a man must have a table also before coming into marriage. Don't come here and be a parasite. Don't come here and be a blood-sucking parasite to be sucking the blood of your wife and using your wife to make money. And then you're going to build a house in Africa so that the time will come when you run away. That's a very wicked person. So your mother, your father, they do not belong in your marriage. It's a disgrace when you keep going back home to report your wife. It's not right. And I know women do this too. Women go and be reporting their husband to their mothers and to their fathers. Now let me break this down to you real quick for you to see it. Once you report to your parents, your spouse will lose respect. I'm going to say it again. Once you report your spouse to your family, they lose respect. You report your wife to your sisters, they can never respect your wife again. Never. Your sisters are not important. They are not part of your marriage. I don't care who they are. Let them go and face their own life somewhere with their own husbands. And once you're going in there to report to them, your wife will lose respect. When you report your husband to your family members, your husband will lose respect. And then they look at him like this stupid guy that laid hand on my sister. This stupid guy that cheated on my sister. This stupid guy that didn't pay bills. Although he didn't pay bills, my sister is the one paying the bills in the house. And that's what you're doing. And you won't understand it's later. And this is causing a lot of problems in marriage today because we are spreading the news all around. What people are not supposed to hear, you are the one sharing those things. You take your family matter out of your homes and then you send it outside to third parties. And those ones will get hold of that information, and that's what is spread all around the place. People who didn't know what you're going through in your marriage will start getting to know. Your mom may actually share with her own sister. Will talk to one pastor somewhere, talk to one prophet somewhere, and now they carry your news everywhere in the world. And one day you get to hear it. Then you'll be wondering. You see, I noticed one thing about us Africans. A very funny thing. Now, you will call me. Hello, Dr. Shola. You say, hello, ma. How are you? This thing I'm about to tell you, you are the only one I'm telling you. And I'll say, oh, yes, ma. And then you tell me. And then you pick up the phone again and then you call somebody else. And then you say, you are the only one I'm telling you. Ta-da-da-da-da. Boom. Later down the road, when that stuff now eats the Instagram, it now eats social media. The next thing that will happen is that I'm going to be the one that everybody's going to be looking at like, okay, probably is the one that leaked the secret. Whereas I didn't leak any secret. My mouth, I shut my mouth. But because you already spread it all around, other people got hold of the information and then they put it on social media and then you start calling. Did you tell anybody? No, I didn't tell nobody. Oh, you are the only one I told. No, not me. I didn't tell nobody anything. We need to learn to keep our mouths shut. Whatever it is you don't want people to hear, you don't share it. If you have a problem in your marriage, keep it between the two of you. Learn to actually resolve it. Don't go to sleep until you resolve those problems. And then you go to sleep, you wake up the next day, we start a new life. And then it's still going to result into quarrel later, but at least we have settled one and we keep on moving. And the other one that are going to come, you already learn how to deal with them at the same time. So, your mothers, your fathers, they don't belong in your marriage. They're not part of it. You don't report issues to them. A young boy will ask the mother when to buy a car, and he's a married man. He's a married man. We'll ask the mother when to go to see doctor. We'll ask the mother when to go shopping for clothes. And he's a married man. And you mothers out there, It's time for you guys to hands off. Teach your children to be independent. Okay? Teach them to manage their own problem by themselves. Don't put your own mouth into things. Don't. Your own life is not their life. Stop giving the example of your own husband. Your daddy this, your daddy that. Sorry. She's not married to her daddy. Sorry. She's not married to you. He's not married to you. Sorry. So you need to let your son go and develop his own ability to resolve conflicts in his own home. And what are the things that he must actually watch out for? I have said it. Couples, before you get married, you need to go and study temperament. Study about temperament. It's the nature of people. You will be able to know where your wife falls, and then you know where your husband is. And this will give you an idea of the kind of leadership you will adopt to be able to do this. You will. Thank you, Grace. You will be able to know it. You will. All right? And then once you study temperament, you now study leadership. I always ask men, and see, when I ask men, and what kind of leadership style are you using in your home? They don't have any idea. Because they don't know. Because they don't know. Well, I'm going to open my telephone line. Because they don't know. Well, I'm going to open my telephone line for those who would love to call in. If you have questions for me, maybe you have questions for me, let me open my telephone up so that I can receive calls. I'm going to give you guys the telephone number to call now. All right. The telephone number to call, I'm going to put it on the wall. If you have questions for me, or you have a contrary view, opinion about what I just shared, the telephone number is on the screen for you to call. It's right there. So the telephone number is right there. Cool. So the telephone number is 405-550-5135. So if you want to make that call in, you have a different opinion about these, or you have a question that you want to ask me, that's the telephone number on the screen. You can go ahead and make that call right now. The telephone number is on the screen. If you are calling from outside, you can use WhatsApp to make the call. I will still pick it up here. And you have questions for me, I will take the questions now. I'll take the questions now. Take the questions now. The same thing, Queen, that's the same thing we are talking about. It's still lack of understanding, lack of proper training. He will not listen until you tell his mom. That's a stupid life. That's a stupid life right there. How about me? So I must have to call my mother to report my wife every day. All right? Or when my wife is talking to me, I won't listen. I will let her go and call my mom first. Then my mom will now talk to me, and I will now say yes. What kind of respect am I getting from that? I'm losing respect. My wife can never respect me. And then we talk about, I want respect, I want respect. You can't get respected when you are not listening. It's still the same stupid stuff. I'm telling you, that's the same stupid stuff right there. Let's call a spade here. Let's be truthful. Pastor, I promise my son your counseling service before he gets mad. Of course, that's a very good one. I thank you so much for your time. God bless you, Counseling Hub. I'm still waiting for calls. I told my friends that we need counseling session with Dr. Shola. All right, that's how it is. We have to make sure we deal with that. We deal with that stuff. It's very, very important. And it's not just only premarital counseling. Counseling constantly, at least 2 or 3 times in a year, is ideal. So if you have questions for me, you can make a call. I'm waiting for that call to come in. The telephone number is on the wall. 405-505135. I will pick it up here. Somebody's calling. Let's see. Hello. Yes, hello.
Sir, from California. My name is Yinka.
All right. How are you doing, Yinka?
Yes, sir. I was having a discussion with a friend here yesterday. We were talking about men and leadership.
Yeah.
I had an issue with my ex.
Okay.
There was nothing to follow because there was no leading. So I now asked a question yesterday.
Okay.
If a woman has the leadership skill,
yes,
and the husband doesn't know how to lead, how does the woman help but do it in such a way that it won't feel like she's trying to control the man?
Well, there is no way. There's still going to be that feeling there. If the husband is lacking that leadership skill, you should go and learn it. Because in the mind of a man believes that they are born leaders. And the moment you are taking his space or his place, then there's going to be war in the home. A wise man, if you know you are lacking in something, you see, leadership is not always a thing of the front. You can lead from the back, you can lead from the side, and you can lead from the front. You can actually surrender leadership to your wife if you know she knows more about those things more than you. It doesn't matter who is in the front. You will always do it and still come back to report to him because he's still the leader anyway. So it's just because you are knowledgeable in that field. That's why it's giving you opportunity to lead at that point in time. But how many of our African men will allow such? How many of our African men are grown enough to say, okay, let my wife lead this family? So it still boils down to, we still need to teach men leadership.
Yes, sir.
It's very important.
One funny thing is, our men don't even want to. Because when you suggest like counseling or learning how to do stuff,
yes,
they believe that it's an abuse. Why are you abusing me?
Yeah.
That I know what I'm doing.
Yes. And that's what we're still talking about here. And counseling is not a moment of interrogation. Counseling is not a lawsuit. Counseling itself is more of helping you to see what you're not seeing before. And even the counselor is not there to insult you or accuse you or point fingers. They are only there to listen to your side of the story. And then may interpret it to your wife the way she will understand. And listen to the side of your wife and interpret to the husband the way he will understand. And the two of you, by the time you get out the office, you are able to learn something. How to resolve conflict and all kinds of stuff. So that's what counseling is all about. So our African men, I want to appeal to them. As we are talking, this is a woman here talking because she must it's possible for her to have experienced all this.
Yeah, and it ended my first marriage.
A lot of people are experiencing it now, madam. So many people are still experiencing the same thing. Yes, African men should please come down off your high horses. You know, you ask for respect, you're getting respected. But a time will come that respect will not come easy. Because you're supposed to earn respect. All right. If you are not a leader, who should they follow? Who are they following? She just mentioned it. You are not leading me and you want me to follow you. I can't follow someone that is not going anywhere.
Yeah, you are confused. So we are confused together.
Yeah, we have to be confused together. It's not what you're leading. You're only living day by day without a plan, without vision, without nothing. That's a dangerous move.
It was, sir.
A dangerous move right there. So it can be done. So, sister, in your next relationship, make sure before you go into any relationship with a man, the very first thing you're looking for, does he understand leadership? Okay?
So I've been following you for almost 4 years now.
Yes.
I know better now, sir.
Oh, okay.
Because of listening to you.
Yeah.
The trauma was too much for me.
Wow.
I went for counseling.
Wow.
I was even placed on medication. I'm running on my medication this month.
Wow. Just imagine that.
I've seen a lot of changes. I don't get angry anymore.
You cannot.
I don't react anyhow anymore. I've seen a lot of changes.
Yes.
I'm from Nigeria, but I moved to the US in the 8 years ago. It has taken me like 8 years, sir, to get out of the trauma.
Wow.
I'm not ready for a relationship. Now is when I'm ready, and that's taking me 8 years, sir, to get out of that trauma.
Just imagine. Just imagine. I pray for you that the Lord will heal your heart, and the Lord will actually bring a testimony out of you in this coming year. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you.
It is well, madam. Bless you too.
We appreciate it
so
much.
Goodbye. All right, the telephone number is on the screen for those who would love to. You have questions for me, or you have a contrary mindset towards what we have discussed here. +1 405 550 5135. That's the telephone number to connect to the studio at this time. So for those who would love to call, the telephone number is open for us. You know, leadership is actually the main thing. That's the major thing. We need to learn it. Parents must to teach their children. It's very important to do it. Teach your kids how to do things. Teach them how to cook. Let's pick this call here. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, madam.
Yeah, good day.
Good day.
I'm just watching your stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, it looks as if you are just talking to me. I got married when I was 18.
Okay.
I have 6 children.
Okay.
Lost 4. But my husband is a bully.
Wow.
I'm speaking to you now. I don't have my health. And as it stands now, I'm planning committing suicide.
No, madam, no. Madam, no. Don't think like that, please. Don't think like that. What exactly happened? What happened in the relationship?
He beat me. And even in the public, the mother always comes to tell my husband what to do, how to do it. I have no shame. I'm a graduate. I read physics education. He stopped me from teaching. I was staying in the house, just useless.
Take it easy, madam. Take it easy. Wow. So how long have you guys been married?
We've been married for 38 years.
38 years.
38 years of suffering.
Wow. So presently you don't have a job?
I don't have a job. You stopped me from my job. The mother told him to stop me from whatever I'm doing, so I was stopped.
But what is he going to gain from all this that he's doing to you?
I didn't get it, sorry.
Wow. Have you guys been to counseling before?
Different counseling. Even in the church where we worship. We are the Catholic.
Okay.
And later we went to Winners. And he's a minister in Winners.
He's a minister in Winners.
He's a minister, and a senior minister in Winners. Nobody talks to him because he's financially balanced. Nobody talks to him, even the senior pastor, nobody talks to him.
He's a senior minister in Winners, and have you reported to the pastor of the branch?
I've reported to the pastor. The pastor will tell me, just pray. It's well. This will get better.
And nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
This is difficult. This is difficult here. What I would let you do is I need you to if I can actually connect with your husband and probably we can have a little talk together to see exactly what is happening. Yeah, because see, once somebody gets to that point where you are, thinking of committing suicide, that means your heart is totally gone and it's affecting you already. Your mental health has been compromised and you're depressed. And you need this is an emergency because it's possible for a time to come that you are not going to be the one controlling what to do to yourself. You'll be hearing voices in your head that it seems you should just get rid of yourself, just kill yourself, and all kinds of stuff like that. And I want you to remember your children. Think about those kids. Maybe the first one may be 30 something years old right now, and the other ones are still little. You don't want to terminate yourself because of this. Hello. Hello. Can you guys hear me right now? How about now? Can somebody give me a feedback right now? If you can hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can somebody hear me now? Please let me know if you can hear me now. What the audio is. Oh God. I think the internet is the problem here. It's better? You can hear now? Okay. Alright, so oh, it's good now. Okay. The lady came, she called to share her story, and she has been married for over 30 years, and the husband is abusive. And this man happens to be a minister in Winners Chapel, and she reported to the pastor of the church, but they couldn't help. They only asked her to go and pray that all is well, but nothing is changing. And his first son is in Canada and is a medical doctor. His first son, our first son, sorry, is a doctor that is based in Canada. Okay, so, and I asked her to reach out to me so that we can actually search for the son. Because if you have been living with a man for over 30 years and he's still abusive, I think that's the way he's going to continue until you die. And the woman said she's already contemplating divorce. And I think this is a time for us to act and see how we, could help her to get out of this situation. So we're going to be doing that, and you guys will see updates on my page very soon. Whatever it is I'm able to get from there. So please, madam, please call me or probably message me after the show, and myself and you will be able to talk about a few things. Okay. All right, the telephone number is still there for those who want to call in. You have a question for me, or you have a contrary idea about what we're discussing, please call me. Well, if we don't have any other caller, please let me just turn it off and go and attend to that woman quickly. And let's see if we are able to help. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. And compliment of the seasons to all of us. God bless you. I love you guys. Bye.